We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Look, you almost peaked early anyway because you thought it was Christmas next week.
I know, Jason, it's not a week after, isn't it? It's because Lydia breaks up next Thursday.
Yes, this time next week. I've got to go to bloody Kent, but yeah, it's holiday.
Right, here we go. Running titles.
I've already been listening to Matt singing Merry Christmas.
I know, that's enough to put anyone off. Hello and good evening. Welcome to Flory Models. It's actually back and on form, isn't it? Here we are, back after our little live break, shall we say. We were working, if you haven't been watching and you didn't see the update yesterday from me and Matt. But we were here, we've been busy, we were doing reviews and Matt was getting loads of orders out and yes, it was all good. So anyway, we're back to it normal this week. Normal service resumed. So we're all doing very well, team?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evenings.
Good evening.
Good evening to people in live chat. Obviously, it's back to normal, so it's only the Flory Models chat that's on. Sound good here. Why? Somebody saying they got bad sound?
Yeah, Nigel did.
Yeah, Nigel, unmute your speakers. It's not us. We're perfect.
That was my singing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's auto mute. Apologies, everyone's got their name on tonight, and I can't turn it off. Nor can I get rid of the captions. So Skype's had an update, and it's gone mental. So it's all there. So anyway, Nathan, how are you? How's Trick since we last spoke?
Well, I'm ploughing on with my Yamato, or Yamato, however you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit of off-camera, just trying to get this finished by the end of the year. This is a break, it's fiddly to say the least, but it's fun.
Yes, you're a brave man doing little things like that.
Tiny little aeroplanes that are the size of a, 5p coin.
We've now all voted in the resident shipbuilder.
Yes, that's it. Yes, he's now our new shipwright.
Sorry, can I just say quick, Ed's saying there's no video on YouTube, only sound.
Oh. We've gone podcast mode.
Yeah, we're doing podcast. That's even better.
No, I'm watching. I've got video feed on me.
To be honest, I've got video feed here as well. I've got a one coming back in as well, and it's fine. It's saying there's 341 people watching, and its stream is excellent. And it's saying sound is good. Everything seems to be fine this end. So I don't know if it's a local issue, but it's not here.
Yeah.
Perhaps we ought to try a podcast one day. We wouldn't have to get dressed up. Not that we do.
Yeah.
But it saves having to clear your bench a bit and put stuff up. So, yes, very good. Anyway, I don't know, guys. I can't speak if there's a local issue. I'm on YouTube and TV and all is good. Had to refresh YouTube. And now apparently it's okay, all okay. Lots of people saying it's okay. So it may be a local issue. Unlike yesterday when I just forgot to upload the video. Apologies, it was a bit late, but it was worth it. Me and Matt yapping for an hour.
We keep you all in suspense.
It was, definitely, because I had people messaging saying, when's it going up? When's it going up? I was like, oh yeah. Okay. And you got this thing, I don't know, if you upload to YouTube, you'll know. If you try and upload to YouTube after 5 o'clock, it takes twice as long as normal. So, because the world needs wipes on there, literally, and everything grinds to a halt with it. So there you go. It's okay. It's on YouTube as well. Seems to be all right. Question, Matt, did you manage to source 2 detonation cords for the 30-second Harrier? Why do you need one, Robbie? Is it for the Hobby Boss one, the trumpeter one? You don't need it. It's grooved. Just put wash in it. It's one of the few that is.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. To answer your question, no, I haven't had time today. Sorry, I've just been properly busy doing stuff. So, well,
if it's the old Rebel one, then probably not. But if it's the Trumpy one, then it's grooved. So you don't need it. You can just put a little bit of thin acrylic paint in it and just scrape clean it. It's perfect. What I did with mine. It's the Trumpy. So yeah, you don't need it. Literally, either white acrylic paint and just put a drop of it in there, let it capillary action zip around, and then just scrape clean it afterwards, or use like whitewash and just put it in and wipe it off, and away you go. It's the easiest one. It's very, very nice. So yeah, okay. Ed's all right. He's got it now. Needed refreshing. That's it. Okay. Well, as long as everybody's good and in. Anyway, John, how are you? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
How's the wonderful world at Royal Mail?
Yeah, bloody Christmas.
Does it all?
Just, yeah.
It's been a bit of a slog, but only 12 working days to go, so not that I'm counting.
Bless you. Do think of John, everybody, whilst he's out there slogging his little heart out.
In the dark.
So, yeah,
in the dark.
To be honest, I've not done a lot of modelling.
No.
I've got, hang on, let's put the other.
Oh, I don't know if the overheads are going to work because, as I say, oh, it sort of is.
Yes.
There we go.
I've got the little T34 coming along.
Very nice.
But I'm just going to potter around with that now until the new year when the all the new builds start, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes. Yeah, no, it'd be good with that. I must admit, next year, well done, Nate, for doing that. I've been putting everybody onto it because a lot of people have been saying on my Q&As, what is it? It's like, have you missed it? So if you haven't seen it, obviously Nathan's done a full listing, PDF, PowerPoint presentation, tea break in the middle, everything. So, so yes, you'll be fine. Lots of exciting ones coming up there. Hence, whilst gone for that. So that might be for the naval one because it's got navy on it. So I'm going for that with a very nice scheme. Lots of ones. Anyway, Andy, how are you? How's life in the Orange House?
Busy, tiring. Busy.
Coming to an end.
Modelling wise, I've done absolutely naff all because every moment I've been home, I've been doing invoices.
Yes, he has. So Andy's been busy invoicing you, and with all the pre-orders, as always, literally, they're like buses; they all come at once. So hence this as well. Yeah. So yes, obviously we'll talk about that in a minute, but lots of those have been coming out. Has the final reveal for the turkey shoot video gone out yet? No, Rob, because nobody's finished them yet. That's the whole point. We said we were going to keep it open for a little bit, so it gives everybody a chance to get their photos up and stuff like that. So what I'll probably do is we'll let it roll another week, and then we'll close it. We'll do the video thing for it, which we'll put up as a bit of a special, I think, on next week's show. So that'll be the plan for that one. So if everyone can finish them off over this weekend, and then next week I'll put it together, and then obviously we'll put all your great work, final photo. Because to be honest, I could do with finishing off mine. So I need to weather mine yet. I've never got that far around to weathering them as of yet, but I will do. I'll give them a bit of a wash and whatnot, and they'll be fine. A bit of a dry brush. So what's up with Chuck? He's having to reboot his router. Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Into
Sounds
that.
painful.
Yeah. Definitely. Anyway, we do have a bit of announcement, don't we, Matt?
We do, don't we?
This is what we were. I love the way we were reading it earlier. You guys were all saying about various things that may be happening. This is part one of various changes that are going to be happening to obviously Flory models and PM models next year. More of it will come in next year for that one. Yes.
Can I just say they're going to be so disappointed?
I know. But anyway, our very own Mr. Molyneux is joining the Flory Models stroke PM team full time. So he's giving up his job and he's going to be working for PM Models.
He's going to be working for Styrene.
So, yes. So this is it. So if you have got any complaints, any bad comments or anything else like that, can you please direct them to Andy at PM Models, as it will be. We haven't done it yet, but we will set him up with his own email. And then that way he will deal with you. So Andy is our PM Models first full-time member of staff.
He is.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations, Andy.
He is. Well done, Andy. He's been basically doing it anyway, but this time we thought we'd make it official and pay him.
So getting through that tough recruitment.
Yes. So he's got to be trained yet, clearly. But yeah, so Andy's joining. Obviously, he's even given in his notice at B&Q.
I have.
That's it. Was that a hard thing to do? Or did you go in there and say, you stick your kid job, I'm out of here?
I mean, I've been there for 12 years, so it's all right. Yeah, it's always a bit, it's not necessarily the job, but the people that you work with, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, but yeah, new new
Pastures
experiences.
What did Shell say about you getting your salary in pits?
Oh, sorry, someone's forgot.
She says, "You better bloody not bleep 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 bleep." Unless it's Edard Desert Babes.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's our big news. Andy's starting with the company on the 1st, technically, although he's already here. So yes, as of the 1st of January, Andy will be there. So again, obviously that will help out big time with obviously answering your questions and getting back with you with various things and all stuff like that. And again, it's various things we want to do as well, which is develop obviously the PM store. And seeing as Andy's the only one with like half a degree, as in 0.5 degree in computers, and can work out how to do the website and everything.
We might even have proper stock levels.
Yeah, that's it. So you might find things are in stock now.
Yeah, a bit more realistic.
But B&Q is basically Home Depot. Yeah,
Home Depot, isn't it?
Home Depot.
Yes.
Same sort of thing.
Well, no,
worked there for 12 years.
Joking aside, we're I'm looking forward to getting him on board properly, and you know, and what we've got planned for next year as well, in it. So
yeah, we got big plans obviously for developing PM models. There's various changes going to happen with flooring models as well, but we'll cover that separately because that's a thing. But obviously it does involve PM models a lot. But obviously next year with the changes that are going on as well. So hopefully it'll just be good for you guys, put it like that, because obviously we're developing the PM store to bring in new lines. We won't talk about those quite yet, but we've got new lines that we've decided on, and we've said, yeah, let's go for it, which we're investing very heavily into the company. You know, does he get a company car?
To drive the company car.
You might get a scooter to go around a warehouse on. But yeah, there's various things obviously we want to develop PM, and you know, being Matt have obviously for the last few years put every penny back into the company. We haven't actually taken any money out of the company. So hopefully we'll be in a situation of, say, bringing in lines, more expensive lines, bigger lines, products, things like that. We're working on at the moment as well is sourcing kits from more reliable sources, shall we say? I think that's fair. And things like that as well, so we can get things in quicker and stuff like that. So that's the basics of it. And obviously PM as well is also going to be handling the sales side of things of flooring models as well. So that'll be coming online next year as well. So yes, lots and lots of new things happening, various things.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah. So for obviously for you guys, you know, ordering should be smoother. We'll carry better stock levels. We'll carry more stuff, more lines, things like that. From a side of it, from the flooring model side, because I'm stepping away from the sales side now, that frees me up to do a lot more of this for doing the building stuff and all those things as well. But it obviously still means that we'll all be still big, happy family, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So does this mean I have to employ John at some point?
Yeah, get him out the post office.
So I can get him out the post office.
You could afford him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is the trouble. I can't afford him. That's the problem, isn't it? So yes, that's so anyway, that's our news. As I said, we have got other things we're going to talk about, but that's coming in the new year and various things to that. So we don't really want to take away Andy's momentous decision, because it was a big decision, because like me and Matt sort of discussed it and said, well, we better ask him if he even wants to do it. So,
yeah.
Because, you know, you might have said, no, sod off. I want to stay at B&Q. We didn't think it was going to happen, but it could have been the thing where, you know, so yes.
It came as a shock when you asked me, and I'm sort of like, I was, I mean, and so I knew, obviously, I knew what I wanted to do, but I had to discuss it with my wife because, you know, she's the one that tells me what I can do. Obviously.
She who must be obeyed.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's the plan, and hopefully, you know, fingers crossed this year. Let's face it, it's been a bit of a write-off totally with the shows and the various things. We've also got ideas for doing the shows, and for obviously doing a bit of meet and greet work with you guys. Obviously, hopefully, I'm not thinking it's going to be before the summer, because clearly it's not, but hopefully by the autumn I would have thought that maybe we'll be able to do the monthly meets again at PM. Obviously we want to do the training courses in the future and open up the store for the retail side of it and get that back and going, but obviously that's all going to be post-COVID. But yes, so good job. Yeah, that's the trouble now. We can't pay him in plastic anymore. He wants cash.
Yeah.
So,
says is PM changed its name to PAM now for handyman. It's still their company. I'm just the I'm just the general dog's body.
Office lackey.
Yeah, that's it. He's the T-boy.
Yeah.
He's the T-boy. It's fine. Yes.
Yeah.
But
T-boy.
but anyway, hopefully, as I said, there's various things because Andy's quite a whiz with computers, and clearly we're not. So he'll be able to develop the website as well and sort things out like that. And yes, we might be able to do a gift voucher. We've only been saying it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Everyone always asks us about doing gift vouchers, and it's like it does do it, but nobody seems to know how. So it's like alchemy, that thing. Anyway, right, on that note, should we have a quick look round at today's picks? Because clearly you lot have all sent me which ones, apart from Nathan. I'll let Nathan off of this. Was it, or is it John who sent them?
No, it's Nathan.
It was Nathan who sent them. So none
It was
of
all
you
Nathan
have
this
sent
week,
them.
yeah.
Right, okay. So, well done, team. Okay, in one, we've got Mike. Now, you might remember Mike's from the build from the other weekend, the turkey shoot, was doing a bungalow. We think that's more of a dormer, but apparently in the US, it's a bungalow with a nice little
it's a ranch house.
A ranch house, that was it. We agreed it was a ranch house, wasn't it?
That's what they told us. They call them in the States. It's a ranch house, not a bungalow.
I take it because it's got some wiring hanging here. Has it got lights in it?
Must have, I think.
Because
No, it's got what's it called? A cellar thing. What do they have? Basement. Look, it's got basement lights in it.
It's got a black and red light thingy coming out the back. What's that?
yeah, it's got some cables. I thought maybe it had a light in it. So
Yeah.
Well, most houses these days, have electric wired in. I don't know
most
how you
times
are.
I watch an American film.
It's got electric.
It's got electric. Most times I see an American film, it's got somebody stored under there.
Oh, God.
That's where people escape from, these little windows.
Yeah.
But no, very, very nice. Good job on that one. Again, what was really nice about it was something different, and that's what we like.
Yeah.
Again, it was something a little bit different. Nice little car with it as well. Living the dream.
It's got a light on downstairs, look.
Oh, it has
Yeah.
got a light. Look, there it is. Couldn't see it in the other pictures, but yeah, look. It's full interior. Got air conditioning. Hot running water.
Why did they never build basements in UK houses?
Because we don't have hurricanes and bad weather and stuff where your house gets blown away like Dorothy.
Hold on. I don't know. I can beg to differ. Living up here, past 2 years with the weather we've had,
To be honest, with the weather we have, they'd be permanently flooded.
probably.
Yeah.
They'd just be underwater. You'd have to have a bilge pump in your house.
My parents' house has got a basement.
You've got the Victorian houses have them, but it's like anything built post 80s. They just put
Yes,
them on
isn't that the
concrete.
wine
Yeah.
cellar?
Yeah, but that's a cellar, innit? Not a basement.
I'm pretty sure Fred West had one.
Is that not the same thing?
No.
Well, no, it's not. No.
Yeah, they weren't very popular after Fred West had one. So yes. Anyway, brilliant job, very nice. Totally in the actual spirit of the group build. Well, for the weekend and stuff like that. Something totally different, totally random. Don't think anybody else did a house, so we'd like that one. Well done, Mike. Good job.
Hold on. Yeah.
Next up, we've got a nice little Skyhawk. It's the Edard one. Nice with the remove before flight tags and the fog covers and all the bits in.
Yeah.
Go on, Nathan, you picked this one. What do you like about it?
I've got a bit of a soft spot for the aircraft, but I thought the finish was really good. Like you picked up already, it's got all the sort of tags on it and stuff, and it nice, lightly weathered.
Yes.
And it's a good idea to do something like this for the high seas sig.
Yes, definitely.
We're in a bit of a naval phase at the moment, so I thought it was really nicely presented, nicely finished.
It is because obviously I built quite a few of these, and there's a video build of the one I did, which I did the Edard reboxing of it, which was called, God, I can't remember what it's called now.
Scooters, Vietnam scooters.
Scooters, that was it. Again, it's a timeless kit. It really is a very, very nice kit. It's one of those kits that it's, had competition because Hobby Boss had a go at it, but theirs is still the best. It's got a beautiful, I think it's the golden era of Hasegawa. It's got recessed. It's got raised details. The wheel wells on it are absolutely fantastic on this thing. Really nice details all the way through onto it. And to be honest, some of the tricky areas really is just the intakes. They can be a bit of a git to fit, but he's done a really good job on that. There's no real things in there. But generally, the aircraft itself is a really nice kit. It goes together very, very well.
I think it's just a nice aircraft, actually, in real life.
It is. I like the scooter because obviously this is the one with the electronics hump rather than the more streamlined one. So, yes. Very nice.
Showing my ignorance for all things that don't have red stars on them.
Yeah.
Why do they call it a scooter?
Because it's small. It was called the Skyhawk, and it just got the nickname the Scooter because it's tiny. By the great scheme of Navy jets, it's a little one. It's one of the smallest, I think, because obviously it doesn't need a wing fold system. It's that small. Yes. So I think that's how it got the nickname of being the Scooter, just purely it's a size thing. So yes, very, very nice indeed.
Perhaps
and obviously used in Top Gun as a aggressor.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Does anybody still use Skyhawks? Or they all retired?
Does Brazil use them still?
Argentina might still use them.
Obviously, New Zealand had them famously and got rid of theirs, and they've got is it helicopters now? Isn't it only? So yeah, Singapore maybe.
Israel had them until 2015.
Yeah, Israel.
Really?
Yeah.
NASA. Good point, Gary. NASA still got them, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think actually the Argentinians still using it now.
Very nice job though. Good job on that. Good aircraft. Very, very nice. Cool. Wingnut Wings. God bless them. Steve's done a very nice job on a, what's this one? This is a Albatross.
Yeah, D5 from the Baron. It's just the wood effect on it is spot on. It's a Wingnut Wings kit, so it's now sad demise in 2020, but I think the wood effect and the red is good. It's really well. Again, the finish is spot on. Yeah. All the detail in the engine and the rigging and stuff. It's just another really, really good build.
Yes.
Got a little Wingnuts kit, haven't we?
So is that the radiator up here?
Yeah, I think it is.
Let's get it straight. They've got boiling water above the pilot's head. Mind you, I suppose it's a little bit in front. Mind you, health and safety wasn't a big thing back then.
It's anything to keep you warm, I guess.
Well, yeah.
The early ones used to have the fuel up there, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, because it was gravity fed, so they had it above it, so that it could. Yeah. So yeah, even worse than the radiator.
But the wood effect, I agree, it's really nicely done, isn't it? And the red has got that nice sort of fabric-looking red and worn in.
Yeah.
So very nice.
When you read how he's actually done the wood effect, he's done it a real simple, easy way, just basically using white and then oil paint over the white, and match each bit off. So
yeah, no, good job on that one. No, I like that one a lot. It again, it's one of those kits where would terrify the hell out of me because one, it's got rigging. Two, it's a biplane, and it's got wood effect all over the body as well. It's like, yeah, and also I think you've got a nice one of the prop because the prop's beautifully done with a laminated effect as well. So yeah, very, very good, excellent job all the way through. We like that, like it a lot.
I hope it's one of the kits that Meng do.
Yes. Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, you never know.
Well, there's this big rumour going around at the moment, isn't it, where they're going to take them on. But I can't imagine Meng would take and release their entire back catalogue because obviously it was making a loss for Wingnut Wing. So it's going to be not make Meng any money either. But hopefully they'll cherry pick perhaps some of the best ones and the more sort of, popular types. Very nice.
It's on it, really.
Yes.
Oh, look, Harrier.
Little baby Harrier. So this is the Kinetic, because obviously we all talk about the GR3, but this is obviously the AV8A one. So it's the AV8A version instead of the B, which obviously came afterwards.
So this is the lesser spotted Kinetic kit. Very rare.
Yeah,
very
you can't
sought
see.
after.
Yes. could be available in the future. Maybe ish.
Yeah.
I
2020.
mean,
Yeah.
I
But
actually-
James done a very nice job on this. Nice faded down job. Looking good.
Yeah.
Very, very nice indeed.
Does
So-
look a nice kit, doesn't it?
Does, absolutely. Sorry, the dog's about
Somebody's
to go
own.
mental.
Somebody's own.
Not quite.
What are they barking at then?
Oh God, not being funny. I've had one of them days. They've been barking at everything.
Oh
I'm had
no.
to edit them out most of the. Do you know what? I tell you what's funny. Yeah, look, here's a story of my life. How bad it is for me. She barks. It's on camera. I'm editing. It barks in the editing, so I've got big speakers to listen to the editing. That sets her off again, and then she's running around the house barking. I'm like, it's you. I'm editing it. I'm trying to edit it out. So sometimes I'll just mute it. If I'm doing a heads down shot, I'll just mute the sound. But now she's barking because she's heard herself bark and running around the house. Then Lola starts as well because she's wondering what she's barking. And it's like, oh my God. It's a bit like every time the Ring doorbell advert goes off, the dogs go mental because it's the same one. So they all run around the house thinking it's the doorbell. And no, it's not. It's the advert for it. Yes, not good. See, look, the problems you have. First world problems. Anyway, so great job on that one, James. The other one as well, Adrian's done Little Nelly.
Yeah.
Obviously from James Bond. But I love this one because, again, it's an awful kit. I think I've tried to put this together. I was having a think back, and I think I just binned it off because I was young and stupid. Well, I was just young and stupid instead of being old and stupid. And but again, I just love the backdrop as well.
Is the backdrop his monitor?
I got a feeling it probably is. Because in a minute he's got different pictures behind him, so I think he's just pausing the film.
I was going to say he's got the film playing in the background.
Yeah, he's just got the telly behind him, yeah, and I think he's just pausing it. But lovely details all the way through, as you can see. You know, but I love the one coming up in a minute with the helicopters behind it. Look, how good's that?
Yeah. Brilliant, isn't it?
That does look good. You ever built that kit, John?
Do you know, I was toying with it for the group build, but they were just going for silly money on eBay.
Yeah, it's a
Ridiculous prices.
It is quite a rare kit. You don't see it in shows very often.
No.
For like what Phil said is quite a basic sort of kit, really. It was like, yeah, I'd love to build one, but
Just think now, look, with 3D technology, you could design and print your own.
yes, Andy.
Yes, Andy.
Yes, Andy.
When we start the 3D printing side of the business up, we'll be fine. So yes, but absolutely fantastic. Stunning work on that. Lovely little bit of scratch building along with it as well. It's not an easy kit to go together. I don't remember it that well, but I was going back and I was thinking, I'm sure I've had a go at it, but I think it was just a complete handful and I just gave up. So it visited Mr. Bin.
It's of its day,
Yes.
shall we say, which was what, 1965, 6, 4,
Yeah,
I don't know, when was
something like that.
You Only Live Twice that, John?
Yeah, John was there.
Mid 60s, wasn't it?
He was a teenager then.
hey, Andy's older than me.
Just. I know no one can believe it, but yeah, I am actually.
Definitely. So well done, everybody. Some great builds this week. Absolutely fantastic. Good job on there. So we jump straight to questions because there's quite a few.
We're waiting for Chicken Kiev, Cam.
Yeah, the
Where's Chicken Kiev, Cam? It's late,
Yeah,
Andy.
yeah, where's your dinner, Andy? I'd have a word with the staff.
Hey, no, it's not quite 8 o'clock yet.
Is it due at 8 o'clock?
A minute to go.
That's it. She's going to come through the door dead on.
Drop it on his head.
Yeah. Yeah, she's watching downstairs. She's going to come in and just drop it in his lap.
It's never dead on. And it's
He's
always
going to
dead.
text her, Christ, you're brave. I'm braver than me. Where's me dinner? Mine would definitely be the dog if I tried that. Right, you two going to be quiet. It won't be long. She will be in a minute. Okay, so Jason, starting off with a question, says, hi guys, hope you're all doing well and bearing up any restrictions in your local regions. Well, I'm almost good.
Almost.
I was in Cornwall, which is very good on Monday, but definitely we're okay. But you guys are in tier 3, aren't you? Which is
Yes.
the naughty step
Yes.
for COVID.
Yeah.
That's it. They're all naughty. They're out partying. That's it. So we've got to stay there now.
That's just a Sky News presenter, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, Kay Burley, wasn't it? I saw it on the news tonight. I love the way ITV, they dropped it in. Was it ITV or BBC I was watching? And they were like, and finally, Kay Burley from Sky News presenter has been basically put on the naughty step for 6 months, hasn't she? For having her birthday party with all the staff that she works with at Sky there. So they've all been binned off for 3 months, isn't it? Anyway.
The thing is, though, going back to that, you know, if that had like, they've been really thinking on politicians, haven't they, for breaking curfews and going and doing this, and then she goes and does it. Really, you know, you'd think they have a bit more common sense, to be honest.
Okay. Anyway, a few canopy questions. I've never bothered doing anything with a canopy before, apart from painting the framework, and very occasionally polishing with toothpaste. Or Tamiya compound. One advantage of living the other end of the earth is that we get all the Tamiya stuff. Definitely. Do you paint your canopies before dipping with guns, future clear, etc.? Start with you guys. Nath, do you ever dip paint?
I've not dipped in a long time.
Steady.
Well, I would always dip first and then paint.
Yes.
That was the first thing I did. I mean, I've not had I used to dip lots of canopies, but then kind of figured I didn't really need to. You've got your green and white polishing sticks. Yeah. Yeah. So I've kind of polished canopies now to get rid of any like small scratches. But yeah, dipping was I'd even sometimes just dip it while it was still on the sprue.
Yeah.
And it literally the best thing to do.
Never double dip.
Yeah, don't double dip.
Not good.
You can still do it if you've got a really rough canopy, can't you? It could improve the clarity. But... Yeah.
I think that was really a lot of it was people dipping was to improve the clarity, isn't it? Especially on smaller scales. They can be a bit help to improve them. John, do you dip before or after?
Absolutely not.
No?
I'm in the pledge is good for floors and that's it camp.
Right, okay.
So yeah, I just polish. I've got Tamiya polishing compounds and those magical blue and white polishers that you used to stock.
I still do now. They're back in stock now. Permanent item they are. I had to bring them back.
Yeah, no, I don't dip.
Yes. Cool. Matt,
I can't answer that question at all. Sorry.
Have you ever dipped in your life?
It just sounds so wrong to me. Just move on.
Back to his raving days. He doesn't know. He can't remember a thing from it. It's all a blur. The 90s. Andy, are you a dipper?
I used to be, but I honestly can't remember the last time I did. And I always found, if I think back to it now, I always used to cause myself more problems by dipping it than not dipping it. So, don't know, don't bother anymore.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's not worth the hassle of dipping.
Yeah, I mean, if I got a crap kit out my stash and it needed it, then possibly I might do it again. But yeah, I don't know. You always end up with that bits in it or runs in it or sort of like there's always something that causes problems, especially if you mask it and you peel a bit off or something. I don't know. It's just. Don't know. Look at the dog.
Molly needs
she's not subtle, is she? She comes along and goes. I think really at the end of the day, it's one of those things. If you've got a canopy that has got like issues with it, so perhaps you've got scratches into it and you just can't get them out, but polishing normally gets them all out. But if it's a clarity problem, then I always paint it first. So I'll mask it up, paint it, unmask it, then I'll dip it, then I'll hand paint the framework afterwards. And normally we're talking jets where it's just round the bottom and perhaps the hoop on the front. But I wouldn't do one which is like, I don't know, like a Lancaster, because I wouldn't be bothered to go around and paint all them in afterwards. But every time I've tried to dip, I always, then you mask, it never comes away cleanly because Future doesn't like it, nor does the gun stuff and all the rest of it. The gun stuff's slightly better, that goozy clear stuff, but it's still not a miracle item. I've had it peeled on me once, so that was never a good answer because it sort of ruined the effect. If you go back and have a look at the 30-second scale trumpeter A10, that's where I show it on it. So I did, it had a huge center seam that goes right the way through the plastic. So you need to get in there and carve it the hell out of it to try and lose it. Wasn't happy with it. So what I ended up doing, it's all painted inside and out. Decals are on, absolutely everything. And then I just dipped it and then took it out, let it dry, and then literally just went around with a little bit of flat but on a brush and just did it around the framework and all the rest of it. Obviously, it's easier on a 30-second kit, but dipping, I'm with the guys, it's one of those things, it's quite an old way now, I think, with modern polishers and stuff. And modern kits don't have clarity issues like they used to. Old kits, they'd always rubbed in the bag, hadn't they? Or been rubbing against sprues and things.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's face it, Edard, you know, they tend to do separate bags. Theirs can be a bit, if they're on that big spokey thing, they come off, they can get a little bit like it. Other manufacturers, and funny enough, Trumpeter and Hobby Boss are usually really good. They normally have theirs in a little bit of foam wrap. And it's nice, or in a little box, and it doesn't rub, it doesn't get in the way or anything else like that. So definitely, I don't think it's really an issue like it used to be. But I think back in the day, 70-second scale was very, so I know people used to dip those, wouldn't it, to try and get the clarity. And old Airfix from the 70s, they were notoriously bad, and you might want to dip them to improve the clarity. But I tend to do it always afterwards as well. Part 2 of the questions. Any suggestions for colouring tinting canopies like the F-35 canopies or the AA6 canopies, preferably in the way that leaves the canopies with a little bit transparent? Again, this is one of the things, this question we only did the other day actually, clear coats. So if you want to tint with a smoky tint, obviously use smoke because it is a clear gloss. So it will go on really well. Again, I've shown it. I did it on the helicopters. You can do it with that. You can mix a little bit of smoke in with yellow. Somebody sent me a picture of it a few months ago, and they did an F-35 with it, and that looked quite good. So it's got a little bit of yellow mixed in with smoke to give it a little bit of a tint. The only ones you can't do is Raptors. The Raptors have that gold. It's like a real bright gold colour. Some of them you can't even, it looks like they've got tinted windows. That's almost impossible to do. If you want it to be somewhat clear, but again, that tends to be as it catches it in the light. But that's where I would go with that one. I know some people have talked about food colourings and stuff as well, haven't they? But I don't know.
Well, that was the way to do it in the past. Once it used food colourings and going back to dipping it, but then with dipping, you end up with it not much on the top, and it's all like it draws itself down, and then you have thicker at the bottom, don't you? So it sort of it just doesn't look right.
And again, I think sometimes if you have a look at when I did the little bird, I tinted the top canopy above because it's smoked. And again, I airbrushed it on there. I'm not a fan, like Andy was saying, if you try and dip it or you brush paint it on, it pulls, and it'll always pull around the edges and you get like a deeper area. So by airbrushing it on, you can actually put down it quite thick and almost like a satin finish. But then the last one you put over a very thin gloss coat and it sort of gets it all to work and stuff like that. So yes. He's also got a supplementary question, which we'll allow. He says, Trumpeter 09976 high quality scraper and the Trumpeter 09969 high quality one. What's the difference? Is that the single edge one and the double edge one?
No, I think they're both double edge, but one's shorter and one's longer, if I remember.
Oh, right.
They are different. There is a difference between them.
Right.
Without having them here to show, it's hard to explain it, but they are different. Or why would they bring out two scrapers that are the same? Hint, hint. Yeah, that's next week's.
We're going to do a Tool Tuesday type thing next week. So I've got all the tools here now. So Matt sent me, as you can see, all of this lot. Yeah. So I've got a load of tools and that have turned up. So we'll do a bit of a Tool Tuesday.
So, right, hold on a minute. That one there that I've got, which Trumpy obviously do a different version of, is the 7.6, I think, equivalent, okay?
Right.
Now, the 6.9 is about that much longer and it's a bit thinner. So I presume it's more for carving.
I was going to say, it's a bit more pointy, is it?
Yeah, it's a bit finer as well, if I remember. What I'll do is, when we do a Wednesday show, we'll do a comparison. I'll show it there. But yes, there is a subtle difference.
Right.
Well, you could probably just Google it and look at the difference on a photo.
Chris says he's got it. It's got a longer tip and he's bent his. Be careful with your tip.
Fine.
You know, it's like double dipping in tips. You've got to be careful with it. You don't want to break it. Because Matt's taken the end of his display one off, haven't you?
That's proper. Yeah, well, I would do something stupid with that, wouldn't I? Trying to fix an airbrush.
Metal on metal. Never a good idea.
But yes, proper pointy skewer, I've snapped the end off, which I'm really gutted about because that is a brilliant carving tool. I will get another one. I need to source another one. But yeah, you know, when you have one of them sort of brain donor moments, oh, I'll use this. This will work. No.
Chris says it was bent when it got delivered from us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They're going thing your packaging though. They've got like a sheath on them.
Yeah, they normally come with these on them.
Have you got a green handle one or the black handle one? Because the new green ones come with a sheath to protect them.
Yeah, normally they've got the thing on there that stops them. Can't comment, but get in touch, Chris. We'll sort you out. Right.
That would take some bending, some force to bend it.
I think it's on about the fine one, the 6.9, which is they've changed the packaging because they originally started with the black handle. These are the original ones we had from Trumpet, but they've changed them now to the green handle to run with thingy. But they come now with like a green sort of protecting piece on the end of it because I presume it is prone for bending in, you know, transit or whatever. But they've had it, so they've changed the packaging and the colour of the handle to green to match the others. So that's the only thing I can think of. But yeah.
Ooh. Richard just saying here that his mug has arrived safe and sound. Very nice. So yes. I know loads of you have put up pictures of your mugs. Thank you very much. It's very nice to see them. So far, and I know this will do it now, but we haven't had a single one break. So I released another 10 into the members only exclusive area. And I know 6 of you have bought them, but as it came on air, there were still 4 left in there. So there is, as I say, that will leave then 10 left. And then once I'm sure everybody's gone through and they haven't broken and all the rest of it, then obviously they'll get released as well. Sorry, was there a question you put up as well? No, it's just saying about he's got those. Yes, okay. Mark says, hi everyone, quick question. I'm currently building the Academy P47 with a natural metal finish. I've primed all the surfaces with Mr. Surface Primer, which is nice and smooth finish, ready for the black coat. I thought I would try AK's black base coat. Are we all agreed that that's crap now?
What, the black base?
Yeah, AK's one, because everybody I know's tried it, says it's crap.
Oh, I'd be using X1 or whatever equivalent of LP1 is the gloss black or whatever is that GX, whatever it is, the
GX2,
GX2 is it? Anything gloss black.
Because he's basically going on to say that he did it super thin coats and everything, but it's really rough. Would it be down to the air pressure? Would you reckon sanding it down and all the rest of it? I'll be honest with you, this question has come up before, and lots of people have had trouble with it not working, or it bleeds, or whatever it does. But I must admit, I tried it on Matt's got it there, the MiG-21 that's at the unit, and I didn't get on with it either because it was crap. So I ended up doing Tamiya X1. And to be honest, if you want to see a masterclass in it, I do blow my own trumpet, but have a look at the B-17 because that turned out absolutely mint. And that is just Tamiya X1. It's one of those things you often think, because there's another product come out, it'll be brilliant and go for it. Keep old school, Tamiya X1, and it just works. No problem at all.
Yeah. Do you know the Extreme one? Is that an enamel then?
No, I don't know actually. I've got it here somewhere. Hold on, I've still got some. I've got gallons of it somewhere. I don't know if it is an enamel. Hold on, have I got rid of it?
Is that the one that I've got that just stays tacky?
Yes, that was it. That was when you said it didn't dry. Sure, I've got one here somewhere. Have I binned it off? I might have binned it because it's crap. Yeah, I think I binned it. But yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it is an enamel. And it just doesn't dry, ever.
Can we put Andy on full cam? Because obviously it's keeping the cam.
Oh, is he eating? Is that what he's doing?
He's having his dinner.
Oh. Can we watch him stuff his face and drop it down his front?
I might have a black base here, hold on. I might have one. Black base, I've got one.
Here he is. Is it nice?
What you got?
Yeah,
I'm amazed it's not pizza.
I would say yes, it's nice because she's might be watching.
I've had pizza tonight.
Oh, did you? I had shepherd's pie. Very nice it was.
Oh, I had pizza as well.
Oh, Andy, you've started it now. Everyone's on pizza.
Hey, look.
So I'm then on my pizza.
Listen.
Yes.
High quality enamel-based paints for airbrush.
Right.
For all modelling branches. Shake very well before use. Make sure the surface is clean. So it is enamel.
Right. Okay. So, to be honest with you, I've tried it, and lots of people have. I just, I'm a great believer in X1 because it dries pretty quick, especially if you go with, sort of normal thinners and stuff like that. No problem at all, and it comes out absolutely beautiful.
I do have to say, it does smell nice.
Are you sniffing enamels again? I've told you about that.
Yeah, but it's not like umbrella enamels and them. It's got a nice, I don't know. It's got a nice smell to it.
Very nice smell.
It has, yeah.
We're on to the smellies. Hold on, talking about yourself. I'm just grabbing up the picture of me thing. Where is it? Here it is. Where's me glossy stuff? Oh, I'll tell you what it was. Yes. So I'll tell you what it was. It was on Instagram, the pictures. There's a load more pictures of the black base on Instagram. But
yeah.
But it turned out really, really well on there.
So was that X1 or LP1?
No, that's X1. I think that was.
Are you sure?
I think so, because what happened was I was using LP1.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough.
Oh right.
Yeah, because I think I'm out of LP1. I think we started off with LP1 and ended up using X1 because I run out. I didn't have enough. So,
right. Yeah. Okay.
So, yes. Oh, does somebody want to read out the next question? Because I'll mute myself.
I got it up, so somebody's going to have to.
I can show. We got another mug one. Just wanted to let you know that we received the 2021 mug. Went out on the 24th of November and it arrived on the 2nd. There you go. That's a good job.
Very nice.
There's a big question in the chat about Hataka paints. Can you do that one?
Yeah, okay, mate.
And it's like, this is from Phil G asking what's the opinion on Hataka paints. He's not made the shift to lacquers yet, so he wants some encouragement. And he's asking for a quick overview from the team.
Go on, Nate. You, as a sort of, non-partial view, you can answer this.
Not invested. So it's the Hataka Orange Line paints.
Yeah. Which
I've got their lacquer thinners, but to be honest, I tend to switch between the rapid thinners if I'm happy with a matte coat, self-leveling thinners. It works really well with any lacquer thinner, really. I mean, it's a dropper bottle. So, I mean, the best thing about this, it's really thick. So you thin it. You can thin these things to virtually, ratios-wise, God knows what I do. I'm probably 70% thinners, something like that. So you put slightly more thinners in it than paint, and it goes on. I reckon it paints as easily as Tamiya paint. I think it behaves almost as good as Tamiya paint. So the best thing about Hataka is it's got some colours in it that I've never been able to find in any other paint range, and it's good. It's better value than what's that pre-thinned one? Is it MRP?
MRP, yeah.
A lot better value than those ones. So I mean, I rate them. The only thing that the Hataka paints are not good at, they need to go on a primer.
Yes.
They will. Yeah. If you mask them, they will lift off. But for primer, I mean, I've never got on this prime bandwagon. I've primed with Tamiya. Tamiya paints down first, LP or XF, and then the Hatakas over the top. And they're really good. They've got good coverage, and I don't think you'll have any problems. So the best thing to do is buy a few. For your next model, buy the 3 or 4 colours you need and a bottle of,
the only thing I will say, if you're using obviously Hatakas with lacquers and all the rest of it, is make sure you properly mix it. Tamiyas you can just get away with a quick whiz in the colour cup, but actually Hatakas like to be thoroughly mixed, and they have got an agitator in them. And give them a damn good mix, because again you'll find that they flow really nicely with no problem at all. But a couple of times where, again, it's me trying to be quick, I'll just do a quick drop, quick whiz in a colour cup, and sometimes you can get it and it separates where it's physically not mixed properly. So you've got thinners and paint hasn't actually fully mixed, and when you look at it, and to be honest, prove it. I've redone it now. But one of my doors, I was working on the doors for the MRAP, and I looked down, and it literally looks like the primer's coming through. But what it is, it's a thinner on top. But I just literally did the doors, so I thought, oh, just a drop, squirt, mix it, and did it. And then when I did it properly and overcoated, it's fine, no problem at all. But it can do that. But again, that's user error on my part because they need a proper good mix. But you should do that with all your paints.
And so, all right, so we have an impartial view. Over to you, John, and your experience with Attacker paint. So, is it fair?
Yeah.
I've had problems in the past with paint peel with them, and I've primed, but I've found that I think the issue is if you use their thinners, because I've switched to using self-leveling, and I haven't had the issue.
I think their thinners is too refined, if I'm honest. If an honest opinion from we sell it, it's got no smell. Now, I've never known like a thinner to have no odour, which means to me it's very, very refined, which then must in some way compromise the bite and the adhesion properties. Where obviously, you know when you're using rapid thinner or levelling thinners, it's got a bit of a pong to it. So it's more aggressive, so it will eat into the primer and make it stick. Because I do think you're better off with a levelling thinner or a rapid thinner or that type of thing, or the Tamiya. Any of their two thinners again would work pretty well with it. The retarded one, or I can't think what the yellow top, mustard top, whatever it is. But that's what I would recommend.
They got a fantastic colour range. They do spray nicely. Yeah. But I'm not a fan of dropper bottles. I like to give my paint a good stir, not shake. And I find with those Attackers, even if you shake them for flipping 10, 15 minutes, you can still see sediment at the bottom.
Yeah.
Plus,
sorry, mate, go on.
I always find that it's good that you've got to thin it down, but I always do way too much, and then it's like, well, what do I do with it?
Yeah, you can't put it anywhere. You can't really.
If it's a Tamiya or Guns or MRP, you can just pour it straight back in the bottle.
Yeah. I tell you what, I won't say even rumours, but there's a thing going around that they are swapping to jars.
To jars.
I tell you what, if they do, that will be
I'd get
ideal for everybody, because I know obviously we've had the leaking issues and all the other crap that we've spoke about with Attacker. I think if this would all be eliminated if they just do the jar thing. If they moved them to jars and then you can mix them up properly, like I say, I'm not a fan of dropper bottles, if I'm perfectly honest. Not if I'm spraying. I can see the convenience of them, but I don't think the practicality is as good as a Tamiya jar, or obviously AK Real Colours have gone that route, and Guns go that route, and something where you can get in with a stirring stick and properly mix up your pigments and binders and everything else. I just think the dropper bottles are, I don't know.
And I do wonder if that's some of the issue with the paint peel as well. If it's not fully mixed, like you say, the binders and everything in it aren't properly mixed up.
Yeah.
It's sort of giving a bit of a weaker adhesion to what's ever underneath it.
Again, I think, to be honest, it's like Vallejo was obviously starting the dropper bottle revolution off, didn't it, with the clear line of it and stuff. And I think with acrylics, like obviously with the range I've got here, like the white top range, the model colour, that's not so bad. It's quite thick paint anyway. You're not spraying, well, very rare. It's more for brush painting, so you can give it a shake up. And I don't think it's critical, I suppose. But I don't know. Did you have any adhesion problems with Model A when you used to use it?
Me,
I've not ever really used Model A.
No, Phil, because he used to use it a lot, didn't he?
I used it all the time. No, never really. But again, usual thing with Model Air, it likes primer. Put a primer coat down, absolutely no problem with it at all. But again, the trouble you have with Model Air, because it's like polyurethane, if you do peel, it takes a lot. You've lost that entire area that's under your tape or anything else like that. That was always the trouble with it. But again, it is, as you say, I've been hearing this rumour now for probably 6 months saying that they're moving over to jars. If they do, like we said, that's a ball and ache for us as a company, but long term, it'll be fantastic, Because again, if they do that, it means we've got to have new racks, we've got to have new everything.
Yeah, even something like that would be fine.
Even these little things would be ideal because you can get in, you can stir them, you know, just something so you can get in and stir them. And like I say, if you've got paint left over in your colour cup, you don't just blow it out and waste it. You can, you know, you shouldn't really put paint back in, but we do it, you know, because why, if you're paying however much for paint, would you want to waste it? You always mix too much paint up, everybody does it. So, you know, obviously you're on a 2-pack product, which you'll obviously harden with chemical reaction. You can't put that back in, but you know, just especially if you stick into like lacquers. Obviously, if you're switching from like if you're doing the XF range, if you're switching from like the standard thinners to lacquered thinners, do you know what I mean? X20A, that's probably not a good idea, and keep putting them back in and stuff. But you know, that's a lacquer-based product, so it shouldn't be a problem really.
No.
But yeah, anything. Yeah, if they do switch to jars, good on them. If they do.
Yeah, it's nice paint to spray because it doesn't clog in your airbrush. You can get the pressure really low. You can do your mottling, all that sort of jazz with it.
Yeah, it does spray nicely.
But it's good. It's got good pigmentation as well. It's got good coverage. You don't need a lot of paint to cover a big area. And because you're on low pressure as well, the less of it goes airborne.
Yeah.
So you actually, you know, I mean, so that's definitely the pluses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's very forgiving, easy to use paint. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. I think best thing to do is like get a few bottles or get one for a project, get the colours you need for one project, go out and buy the whole range and then try it and see how you get on. Because like I say, people have different experiences and different expectations with paint. So
yeah,
just try it and you might think, oh, this is like all brilliant stuff, or you might not like it.
Like I've always said that, you know, because we often harp about new brands of paint, and it seemed to be last year and the year before that every 2 weeks somebody brought out a new range of paints. Like because a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's like you need another range of paint. No, you don't. Stick with what you use. If you want to try one, as you say, get a project and then just buy the couple of colours you want for it and have a go with it. At least you know how the paint works and if it's for you, because sometimes lacquers aren't for everyone. You know, sometimes instead it's certain weather in it doesn't like to be chipped particularly or anything else like that. So it's a little bit more hard wearing and those types of things. But I think there's far more pluses with lacquers than there are negatives. That's for certain.
You're all right, Andy. You're throwing up or something?
Is he all right?
No, blow my nose.
Oh. Throwing up at your bin.
Going to say, I thought the bulimia's passed.
Was your key that bad?
Okay, Graham says, hi Phil, during the turkey shoot you mentioned the new year will be no longer shipping internationally. Would this selected outlets Brevco and High Altitude Hobbies honour the Flory Models discount on Flory Models products? Again, this is something which is being spoken about at the moment. I've got to work in with them. It's something where it's watch this space between now and New Year. The decision to be made. If not, it will be back with me still. But it's something that's going to roll out, shall we say?
Hey, this is going to be like Boris going over to Brussels, isn't it? This negotiation.
It is. It's quite difficult at the moment because, as you know, what it's like. Everybody wants everything for nothing, but it's like, yeah, we'll work something out with it. As I say, watch this space. As I say, this is sort of phase 2 with it all. 2, when doing a Sherman, you mentioned to using gloop glue. Is there any other type of glue you would consider? God, you're talking now. It was like 5 years ago. I can't remember these things. I'm sure I'm losing it. So I used gloop glue, which would probably have been something like this. Was it? Or was it the white top gloopy type glue? I don't know. That's the thing. So I've got my new bottle of white top. Thank you, Matt. Glass in it. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I thought so. It was. It's loaded the cap.
Yeah, I know.
So yes. I don't know. I'm not sure which one you mean. You might mean the white top, which is quite a thick one. This is like a resin-based one. It's not like a weld action traditional glue. It's great because I've used it on this, to be honest. That one. Yes.
Get some of that because that's brilliant. And it's even got Revell on it, and it's brilliant. I've said that. You can, you know.
Got them all here. Which size would you like? I use them all the time for doing the big jobs because it's still weld action, but it takes a while to dry. It's not like an instant. So best of both worlds, that one.
Well, I've cut mine down, but with a little needle as well, it's quite precise where you're putting it.
Yes.
You know, not like the old tubey glue, is it?
Oh, God. Strings of it coming out.
Tube glue. We'll mention this like when we've done Q&A because...
Oh, right.
Tube glue. I've not seen anybody use tube glue for a long time, but one of our members have used it.
Oh.
So,
I can't see where you'd have used sprue glue on the
Sherman. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Yes. Anyway, come back to us, Graham. Let us know, and I'll PM me, and I'll let you know privately on it. Clive says, "Hello all. I'm planning on my group builds for next year in the mid-80s and towards the end era of the Soviet Union. I remember that the MiG-29 and Su-27s were revealed to the world. Perhaps one of these aircraft that did the Western air shows would be a nice subject for the Comrade Muller build. Can you offer some suggestions about a kit, either 72nd or 48 scale? For example, we're looking at the Zvezda 172nd MiG-29. That seems to be a later version. John, you're up.
The Fulcrum came into service about 82, didn't it? So it would have to be an A version, which is a 912.
Which the Revs do, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Great Wall Lobby do 48.
Great Wall Lobby do one in 48. The Flanker came in about 85, did it? So that would have to be...
Flanker A again.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone really does an early version Flanker. Airfix.
Hobby Boss do an early Flanker, don't they, in 48?
Yeah, they do a B, don't they? They do the one with the Orion. Actually, that might just...
Is that the one where the Orion got hit by the flanker?
Yeah. I think that was late 80s.
That one?
Yeah. I think you just get away with that because I've got a feeling that was late 80s.
I'll have to have a look now, see what the date is on the deck is.
I'm going to say, by the sounds of it, though, you'd be probably better off sticking with the MiG-29 because you know that is going to be, you know, the version you want.
If I remember rightly, when Trumpeter released their 72nd flankers, they did an early one. Because the one I did, well, I'm sure it's the early one, wherever it is. I'm pretty sure my one was known as the early one. I've got a feeling the box art was that when it hit the Orion.
Yeah.
That's the one Nathan's just shown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, the box. Look.
Yeah, that's the one I did, wasn't it? Which is this one. Oh.
I've just worked out what was the date where it had that. It doesn't tell you the dates on the decals, which is a bit frustrating.
I mean, that's a really old kit, but that is a really accurately shaped flanker for its day. It's, you know, I don't know what it's like going together.
Has he got a cockpit?
Oh, the Orion accident was in 1987.
Yeah.
Do that. Okay.
Yeah, so you can do that one then, the early ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to flanker, then I'd go for the Trumpy kit.
Because this is the Trumpy 72nd one.
912 MiG-29.
Yeah, this is a lovely kit. Because I basically built this kit for the Ukraine.
Yeah.
With the digital
You
camo.
did the digital camo on yours, yeah.
And it's not that expensive, actually. It's quite good value kit.
That's about 20 quid, isn't it?
It is a really nice kit. It's fully recessed details and everything on it. Really one of the best ones.
72, it's still a massive aeroplane. So it's a good size as well. So, yeah.
Was that the incident where the highly manoeuvrable fighter aircraft was hit by a slow lumbering
4-engine prop? Yeah.
1987.
Okay, Ed says, hi guys, quick question for Andy. When you built your Tamiya 148 scale P51 a little while ago, what blue did you use for the nose?
I did it to the Tamiya instructions, and I believe it was X4 and X14. I think it was about 50-50. So they're dark blue and the sky blue. I'm sure it's 50-50.
Why can't you use XF8? Just out of a question.
I think it's too dark a blue, isn't it?
Yeah, same as X4 though, isn't it? Because the Tamiya, see, in reality, during the Second World War, they were actually darker blue than Tamiya say. But when you look at the ones that are most of the ones that have been are around now in museums and sort of like flying of that scheme, they tend to be a lighter blue, which I believe is incorrect. I think later, I can't remember. Almost earlier or later, it was a lighter blue to a darker blue, but the Tamiya one is incorrect, I believe, for the aircraft. It should be darker blue, but I did mine exactly to the Tamiya instructions, and I'm sure it was 50-50. I mean, if you look online, you can find Tamiya instructions.
It's PT3, isn't it, or whatever it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Andy, is you did it to scale effect.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one. I did. I mean, I'm pretty anal about colours more than I should be, to be honest with you. I did a lot of research, and I got to the stage where I thought, oh, damn it, yeah, blow it.
You just end up going down a rabbit hole, don't you?
Yeah, that'd be different reference pictures of different colours. I thought I'll just do what Tamiya say, so I did it what Tamiya said. So I'm sure it's 50-50, X4 and X14.
Cool.
Just by saying it goes down this rabbit hole every time, doesn't it?
I was going to say, anytime we're building anything, we have this.
It's never ending.
Every time.
Okay, Dave says, hi Phil and team, do you have to put the Flory wash over a gloss varnish? Can it be put straight onto the paintwork or matte varnish? Dave, if you're new to using the wash, I always say use a gloss coat just so you get used to it. I don't, I put it over a flat finish. But it depends on how your paintwork is. If your airbrushing is nice and smooth, or your paintbrushing is nice and smooth and there's no texture into it, the wash will come off no problem at all. You get 100% off. But if you've got texture in your paintwork, okay, it will get trapped. Think of it like a sanding stick. You know, obviously a fine grit sanding stick to a coarse one. The coarser, the more of it will get stuck in amongst it, because all you're doing is wiping it off of what you can touch. And that's how it comes away. So I always say, if you're new to it, definitely over a gloss or certainly a satin finish. I wouldn't try it over a flat until you're used to using it. When you're used to it and you know what it's going to do, you'll be absolutely fine. You can go over flat with it. But until then, I would wait. And then
it can depend on what sort of like effect you're looking for as well. Because I mean, my 32nd Tornado, the desert one, that was mainly weathered using Flory Dark Dirt Wash, and I did it over a flat finish. But then used it because I knew what it was going to do. I used it for the weathering. So it's all like, it's all like use sanding sticks to take part of it off, and it's like use sponge to take other bits off. But left a lot of grime on it because that's what I wanted.
Yes.
So but if you just want it for panel lines, then
Again, another one to see for that is to have a look at the buff build, because the buff is just the wash right the way over it, and that's over a dead flat finish because I wanted it to be really grimy, so you can see what it can do at the other end of the spectrum, like over a dead flat finish. So it depends on how you want to, the effect you're after. But certainly, if it's your first time with it, I would recommend over a gloss finish, just so you get used to it, and just make sure your gloss coat is completely dry. Give it at least 24 hours if it's acrylic. If it's enamels, give it a week, and you'll be fine. Then you say, after the wash has been put on, can you brush paint varnish over the top, or does it have to be sprayed? No, you can brush paint over it. It's only if you was to be agitating it, as in rubbing it, and obviously the moisture from whatever you're brushing over will reactivate the clay and it'll come back. But once it's dried, like these, it's pretty much bomb-proof. It doesn't come off. It's only when it gets reactivated with wet, the moisture soaks into the clay particles, they get soft, and then it'll just start to release again and start to move. But until then, so you're quite happy just to brush straight over the top, you'll be absolutely fine with it. He also says, looking forward to the spray courses in Matt's place when this madness is finished. Yes. It's all posh in there now.
It's very posh.
We could do graffiti art in there. Gordon says, Phil and team, thank you for all your continued great work. No question. Just to let everyone know that I spent yesterday at the Imperial War Museum at Duxford, open, but more importantly, very quiet. I found myself alone in the American hangar, so plenty of time for photos. Very nice.
Is the armors section still there? Have they taken that down yet?
I think it's still there.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's actually going to go ahead now. I don't know. Might have all changed that.
Because that was great, that wasn't there? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shame to lose it.
I suppose. Well, I don't know how much of this is common knowledge.
It's been on.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's all right. As long as it has now. But yeah, because obviously they've got to build the new hangar somewhere, so it can only really go there. Perhaps they could relocate that building back a bit. You know?
What are they building a new hangar for?
Well, they're on about having the Battle of Britain Memorial flight there, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, they're on about obviously they're thinking about moving the Battle of Britain Memorial flight to there because they're on about airbase closes and things. So they might lose their home in the future, and this is long term. So that's what it was. And I know they were speaking to a few other museums about the armour collection, about what to do with it. Because they're on about getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Because they could, I mean, it's a big collection. Got stuff, haven't they?
Yeah. Thing is, apparently they've got lots of duplicates, like all the other museums have got as well. It's not they haven't got anything particularly rare or that nobody else has got.
If it's cheap, we'll buy some.
Well, all those Euro trucks out the back that we went nosing around, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, them old Russian trucks would be ideal.
A few of them. There you go, Andy. You wanted a company car. You can have one of them.
I was more thinking of wanting a caravan for Andy to just live up outside the unit.
Yeah, that's it. You can camp. Right. Okay. So, little picture. We've got David here who's saying, hello from Oregon, USA. For the action movie group build, the markings of the model ought to match those shown in the action movie, if I call basically.
Yeah.
In the movie Black Hawk Down, the name of Super 6-1 was shown in the video of the screenshot, which is Armageddon. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It's shot here, but this is not included on the decal sheet anywhere. Right, okay, so you're... All right, I get you now. Sorry, you're doing the Black Hawk Down one Kitty Hawk kit, then. That'll be it. In real life, Super 6-1 was Thunderstruck. How much leeway do you have when hearing the rules? Can't you write Thunderstruck on it? Get in there with a Sharpie or a Posca pen and change it. So yes, because I've read Michael Durant's book and he's got all the pictures in there as well, isn't he? As well, I have to dig that up. It must be in the loft. But yes, so I don't know what font and what type he did with it. Most of them, it was like, well, yeah, like these. As you can see, they're sort of written on and all the rest of it. Yeah. There's Thunderstruck. It's there. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think what he means is that was the actual name.
But in
the film, they called it whatever it is.
Armageddon, yeah.
Armageddon. Oh, right. Yeah, well, no one's going to know, really, are they? I'd say stick Thunderstruck on it.
You wouldn't have spotted if you hadn't mentioned it.
Yeah, that's it. No one would have known. So, yeah, I'd say go for it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Oh, and again, one more quick question for each of you in turn. Oh, my God. But first, I want to say how nice it was to be back after my break. Oh, that's right, because David was on his COVID journey around America, wasn't he? Flory team has created something special and has come to see everyone here part of the family. Absolutely. It was nice to see Lynn in personally. Haven't we done this before, the thank you thing? And he's bought dozens of kits for his stash. Thanks for all of you creating something truly amazing. There you go. Question. To what extent does model building hobby consume your life? For example, do you guys think about models when you're out shopping? for groceries, buying stuff at the local DIY store, or Andy working, eating dinner with the missus, etc.
It's a full-time occupation for me. That's all I've got to say on that.
Well, I'm pretty convinced it probably killed my first marriage. So yes, definitely.
Go on, one of you lot.
For me, I mean, yeah, it's probably. I mean, there are times when I'm with my missus that I don't think of models. Hopefully.
Very rarely. For that 30 seconds, very rarely.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because we as a collective talk to each other pretty much every single evening. And during the daytime, I talk to Matt very often. Yeah, so yeah, it is. It's probably a major part of my life, and yeah, and it's probably going to become even more of my life. So yeah, just one of those things, isn't it?
I think it's different for obviously it is for Andy now, but me and Matt, because it's your job and you're always thinking work, so that's the problem. I think that's. From a personal point of view, I'm pretty convinced it's what killed my first marriage back in the day, because obviously it's just the amount of time you were putting into it. It was a new fledgling business back in the sort of 2000s and stuff like that. So family time sort of went out the window because you're just putting all your time and energy into the business. So that's, I think, what it is. But also, like I always say, it's very difficult because it's a hobby industry we're in. You guys like evenings. Weekends is when you do it, so that's why we try and accommodate it. But technically it's our job, so we're doing it evenings and weekends as well as during the week as well, where some people go to work and they do this switch off. It's very off, and I think that was the trouble I've had with certain members of staff as well in the past, because you have to be flexible with it, because as I say, you're doing it when everybody else is technically not at work. So yes.
Nate?
I think what it's done is it's displaced all other hobbies. And my wife did sort of spot that when we were going on holiday, there was always an aircraft museum or a model shop, or weird coincidences, I know, but I think my hobby is caught up with an interest in aviation, so the two are kind of inseparable to me. But I'll look forward to getting home from work and get the baby to bed and then coming here for a couple of hours. Then I'm watching aviation stuff on YouTube. If I'm on a break at work, I'm checking modelling websites. So it is
obsession.
Even when we lot have been on holiday together, or we always seem to end up talking about or finding a model shop, even though we've got peer models.
Yeah, they find us.
It's like we always seem to find something, don't we?
I think as you say, it's one of those things. It's not a normal hobby because you do it all the time. It's not like something like if you're playing golf. You're doing it, aren't you? On certain days you have golf day. If you're going fishing, you go fishing for it. But when you're sort of modelling, and because I think a lot of us are all like amateur historians as well, because you've got the history of it, and it's all sort of consuming around those things. It's not the type of hobby you do where you can walk away from it easy, because you can look at the books, you can do your research in front of the TV. If you're with your partner and she's watching something you're not into, you can be on your phone or on your tablet, isn't it? And you can do other things. So that's the nice thing about the hobby. You can pick it up and put it down as you like.
Yeah.
Don't you, John?
You went to jet. John, go on.
Put it this way. Yeah. If Lynn says, "Oh, should we go so and so for holiday?" It's like, yeah, and then I'm googling right model shops in.
At least
we were in New Zealand, because I found the model shop in Christchurch the day it went into lockdown and shut. So, but yeah, no, other than work, it is sort of probably a lot of me life, really. I say I'm on with you lot every evening, innit? We're chatting together, and mind you, not that a lot of modelling gets done when we're on in the evenings, to be honest.
Well, Nathan does. Nathan does a bit. Everybody else
Nathan's the only one.
I mean, put it this way: which of us hasn't been moaned at by our significant others because of modelling?
I can definitely say with Leslie, I have never been moaned at by it at all. No.
To be honest, Lynn never has. Not really. Not, jokingly she might make a remark, but
yeah, I think Tam's obviously she understands it's the job. She took me on.
I think she realises there's far worse things I could be doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there are other people that are down the pub 5 nights a week, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shell moans occasionally, but like I said, I think she understands that us lot and flooring models and PM models, and she's sort of like integrated in it as well, isn't she? I think all the wives' girlfriends aren't they as well? So
I mean that's the extended bit, isn't it? All our wives know each other.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah.
So we all meet up and barbecues and that when COVID permits.
Yeah.
So it is a big part of our family's sort of calendar, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be, wasn't it? Always used to have it was like set things with the shows coming down here and all the bits and pieces. We had our year set up. So we're always all together as families.
Didn't it? It's all revolved around modelling, though.
Yeah, it is totally. Yeah.
If you don't really think about that, do you? When we just plan it and do it and go, right, we're going to meet up here and there. But really, subconscious, it's all around the hobby.
Yeah.
Oh dear, do you think we need help?
Yes, I think you just answered that question. Speaking of which, Gary says, "What chaps? I asked a question in the forum yesterday, and I'm interested in the team's opinion and possibilities of a virtual model club. Isn't that what we're doing? Oh, hold on, using Zoom or Skype. With the recent pandemic opening up virtual teaching, etc., do you think it's possible to do this for our hobby going forward? Well, isn't this sort of what we're doing?
I think he means for members on the side. Like we have obviously like chats when we're not on live.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think he means like, say, if IPMS, I don't know, Bolton.
Yeah.
They can't meet, but they could have a Skype meet.
Yes.
It could have, or a Zoom meeting, and I think,
Okay, so there's a legal thing to this. I'll be honest with you, because we've been not anything's ever happened bad, but it is something that was definitely brought to our attention many years ago when this type of thing cropped up. From a legal point of view, flooring models cannot get involved with that. If you want to meet up with members and chat with members outside of flooring models, like the chat room, to be honest, everything you say in there is logged. It's a legal requirement, just in case we add, I don't know, something horrible in there. So from a legal point of view, everything is recorded. Okay, so if we was to be having an area where we are technically inviting members to get hold of each other and talk and stuff like that, it's not under the control of flooring models, if that makes sense. It's just one of those things. It's really horrible, but I hate to say it, but say we had somebody in who was grooming someone or something like that, or financially came in, because that's what happened to us last time. We had a scammer get in who was pleading poverty and all the rest of it and took a lot of money off of a lot of members. And it wasn't just our site either, and he was just a scammer. And again, I have members blaming me because I let him in. And it's like, but it's not me. You were talking to him outside of flooring models, and it wasn't even in our chat room. But from a legal point of view, we could be held to it. So, as I say, as horrible as it sounds, if you're meeting up and discussing and everything, and it's on Skype or Zoom or something else like that, that's fine. But flooring models can't get involved with that. you could private message each other and do it, but you couldn't put up a post, for instance, saying we're having a hangout all on Zoom, because that in some ways takes Flory Models into it, because you've advertised it on the site and all those types of things. It's just one of those horrible situations we're in. It's a bit weird. It's just it's a legal thing that we're covered or have to cover ourselves with. It's very difficult and it's horrible things. It's that nasty.
Yeah, it is. But then on the flip side of it, from like, it's kind of the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, well, here it is, but you can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, from your
point of view, there's no reason why a group of you guys, you know, if you're always chatting to each other on the chat room and that, you could start your own little Skype or Zoom thingy, couldn't you? You know.
Absolutely.
Just PM each other. Rather than saying we're all on at 7 in the forum, if you do it through PMs, that's private.
I say it's really horrible. It's just that when we got stung by this guy, which was a few years ago now, wasn't it? It must be 5 or 6 years ago. But he took hundreds of pounds off of the members because he was pleading poverty, that he was a young lad and he was just starting up, and we had members sending kits, we had members sending cash. Turns out he wasn't. He was 47 years old from Canada. And he's a scam artist. This is what he does. He picks a subject. Apparently he'd done it to another group, nothing to do with modelling, but he'd done it there. And he's well known to the authorities. But, you know, again, it's just what it's... Yeah.
He was selling kits, wasn't he? And he was just putting up pictures. You thought it was his stash, but it was...
Well, it wasn't even his stash.
Off the internet, wasn't
it? Was just getting pictures. But the thing is, I went off the back of that, because obviously I had dealings with the police about it, because they contacted us and they wanted to know all about it, clearly. That's when it came up about those types of things, and they said, really, you ought to protect yourself because of this type of thing happening in the past. That's why we now have all the security measures on there, that you have to be a member for a certain amount of time, you have to have a certain post count, they're looked at, they're deleted afterwards. Now we say on there, you're not allowed to do things as a gift, you can't send cash to people. So we've covered ourselves legally. But when I was talking to them about it, and obviously I spoke to the company solicitors about it, it came up that, you know, you just have to be so careful on these things, because God forbid, if you had somebody who was in there as a scammer, a sex offender or whatever comes in, or there's racism or something like that, if I'm seen to nurture that environment, we can get done for it. Then it's just, you know, it's one of those things. You don't want to put yourself in that, for God forbid anything happen. So,
I was going to say that if you do it, also steer away from selling stuff to each other, because somewhere along the line something will go wrong.
It's gonna end badly, isn't it? So
there are groups out there, because I've seen them on Facebook.
I think that's the best thing.
You're probably better off, going on Facebook.
Virtual model meets.
Yeah, like just saying, the best thing to do is actually go on Facebook and then start a group up on there, and then you do it that way, I think. How do they get away with it then on Facebook? If you look at how do they get away with it?
I don't know. Again, Facebook just does what it likes, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it is a law unto itself.
And it's all logged as well, isn't it, on Facebook? So.
Anyway, so there we go. Martin says, hello, Phil and team. Not a question, just want to thank you very much for the mug. They arrived last week, safe and sound, but didn't get a chance to thank you until now. Working too much lately. Keep up the modelling. Great work, safe everyone. Thank you, Martin. No problem at all. Chuck says, hi, Phil and team. I'm currently building the Meng Fokker DR1 Red Baron version. I know Phil said to make the red less toy-like by using buff colour. Can I use a dark or even a black colour? Were you referring to the paint and oils or even a wash? Nathan, if you got yours handy? Because Nathan did a great job on his.
I packed it away.
Oh, right, okay. Just not sure about it. Okay, so what we were talking about is that when you do something just one colour, like the Red Baron's one's red, it's very easy because it's just monochrome colour, isn't it? It's just red. So you need to break it up in some way. So what you want to do is lighten it. You can dry brush it. You can use oils. You can use washes. And Nathan will now talk you through how he did his.
Yeah, watch his video build.
Yeah, I mean, I wasted time, to be honest, because I did like pre-shaded it in buff and white, and when I put the red on, all the pre-shading disappeared. So I think it might be just do either a buff or a white base coat and then spray it red. Any red you like, really. And then where I got the nice effect was going over it with, I mean, I even used, just to get like, it's like an artist's acrylic in the end. I dry brushed this on it. So I think my red was actually a combination of 4 or 5 different reds, some sort of sort of a wine red colour.
Yeah.
But I used like 3 or 4 different oil paints because they're quite thin, and just built it up in layers. So I used like a dark, deep wine red between the wing spars, and then dry brushed this very pale red on the sort of spars. And just built it up slowly over time. So it was a combination of 4 or 5 different reds. And I mean, there's another rabbit hole you can jump down, is which red was it?
Well, yeah, that's it. There you go.
Yeah.
I think this picture here shows obviously what Nathan's talking about, and it's how I did mine. You can see the contrast between the top and the bottom wing. This wing has had a buff coat over the top, and this one is just the normal colour before it's had the oils. So this is just oils, neat, and I just buff the hell out of it over it. So it just knocks it back and gives it that sort of more aged look. Because again, that's just it neat underneath, you know, straightforward, nothing done to it. I don't know if I've got any others. There you go, you can see the wing. So that's it, neat. And this is me just working across with the buff and just rubbing it in as we go through. So we've just got literally to there. So obviously the higher areas are going lighter, and I assume it'll probably work well with reds as well, you know, because you're just lightening it as you go through. But just, you know, and just keep banging away at it, buffing away until you get the sort of desired effect with it. But yes.
Just build it up slowly over a couple of seconds.
Like Nathan said, though, what red was it? I mean, if it was British, you could probably guarantee it was round or red, but German, it could have been anything, couldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'd just go with something that you got feeling, because you're looking. Some people have matched it to fabric samples in museums, but they're 100 years old. Wrong. I kind of picked an artist's red because I thought some German got sent to the local art shop to buy as much red paint as he could get his mitts on to paint it red. But then the last ones were painted at the Fokker factory as a gift. So, I mean, it's red, you know, just red.
Difficult.
4 or 5 shades of red in sort of, and you'll be right.
Part 2 question. Since Matt said that the pre-orders for the Tamiya F-15Cs likely didn't get ordered, and it's now been since July, can we assume that they're not going to come? And can we get the model from another source without being locked into the pre-order?
Well, they will turn up. I'm only speculating because they're not here yet, but they will have been ordered and they will turn up. I just don't know when they're going to turn up. I can't presume it's going to be any time before Christmas, but then I don't know because they've got a load of containers coming in all the time at the minute. So they could be on them. I can't seem to get a definitive answer because I don't think they actually know until they turn up from the Tamiya factory when they're going to get them at Obico. Well, sorry, I know everybody's in the dark and it's not a great answer, but they will arrive. I don't know when.
So please bear with us a bit longer and we'll get them.
Yes.
The problem is at the moment, there's also, I mean, it was been on all of the news today that in the ports, Felixstowe, etc., are absolutely chocker full of stock of containers trying to get into the country, and some containers are being sent over to Rotterdam to be stored there before they come back over here. So at the moment, it's like, you know, a proper nightmare at the moment with the amount of stock just coming into the country. So it's all sort of like slowed down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, even Lego's having problems getting their stocks in.
Yeah, but they were saying that Lego's a different thing because Lego doesn't come from, it comes on roll on, roll off apparently from the continent rather than on containers on ships from China.
How they drive it from Sweden to there, straight from, or Denmark, innit? Straight from Denmark with it.
Yeah, so it's a different. It's not containers being stuck in the port. It's a different sort of like. I suppose the logistics is still like there's still lorries trying to get everything out. So I suppose there's only so many lorries, isn't there? And
thing is, at the moment, I've obviously a lot, as you know, my brother's got his company, but I was talking to him the other day, and he was saying one of the biggest headaches got at the moment is the price of containers has gone through the roof because there isn't any. There's no empty containers anywhere because they're all in the wrong place. So he deals a lot with, and they have around about sort of 12 to 20 containers a week going into their place. And at the moment, they've literally got orders with factories in China and the Far East and India and all these ones, but they're waiting for containers. So they've got stock sat in warehouses that's waiting to go onto containers. But when they're talking to the brokers, where it used to cost around about £2,000 for a container, they're now £5,000 to £10,000 a container because it's a bit of a racket going on. And a lot of these companies are releasing for backhanders, and it's all very much getting like that in some not so developed countries, shall we say, are a little bit sort of, if you want a container, if you cross my hand with silver, we can release one. So that's the trouble.
They were talking to one of the MDs from one of the supermarkets on Radio 2 today, and he said it's going to get to stage soon where it's going to affect the price of food because of the price of the containers. The cost got to go somewhere, isn't it? So onto the consumer.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'll do is I'll make a phone call tomorrow and see if I can get some sort of definitive answer of what has happened to these F-15s, because, it's only fair because they have been on pre-order for God knows how long, and we should have had them, to be honest. They should have turned up, and they haven't. So there's something in the line of communications that's gone awry, and I need to know as well, because then so if you can give me till sort of next week, perhaps Wednesday's show, by Wednesday's PM show, I will do my best to get a proper definitive answer of when we're going to get them, if we're going to get them, or what's happened and why we've not got them. And I will press on and see what I can do. So, and if it comes to it, I might just turn around if they're going to say thing and just say don't bother.
Yeah,
because because people are not going to wait forever, and I don't blame you. It's just been going on and on. It's a bit embarrassing from our point of view, but it's kind of out of our hands as well. We put the order in for quite a lot of units. It's not a small order as well that we've put in, and they've not turned up. You know what I mean? It's so just I'll make the phone call tomorrow and see what info I can get out of Obico about it and why they're not here, or if they've got an answer of when we're going to see them.
And one's mine and one's Phil's, and
we've got them on order too.
Yeah.
Okay, Richard, talking of which, wants to speak to the CEO of PM Models. He's put brackets,
you're already.
This is it. You can promoted. A couple of weeks back, I noticed some Italeri Moto GP bikes in the background on your camera. Not sure which scale they were. 1/6, 1/9. Could have been a 1/12, or are they die-cast ones?
Me and Matt were talking about these the other day, weren't we?
We were, because they're just stuck in my office, to be honest, in a pipe. I think they are. I think they're die-cast, but you have to put them together. But they're all pretty painted and thingy. You just have to put the forks on and some wheels and handlebars and stuff like that. They're not on the site because I got them when we have one of these sort of raid the cages at Obico. Basically, they had them in, and it was like when we've had the damaged boxes and stuff, there was in a picture, and I said, oh well, we'll have them. Nobody seemed to know what they was, so if you're interested, then shoot us a email or something. There's only 4. The 4 that you've seen that I showed that's it. There's no more than that. I don't think Obico's got any more, because I think they must have found them in the back of the warehouse under a pile of boxes. I don't know, because none of the part numbers tallied up to their stock.
Oh right.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how old they are or how long they've had them. I don't know.
Yes.
But if not, we'll auction them. Stick them in an auction and you can bid on.
It. They will appear soon. To say, shoot Matt a message about them, and perhaps we'll sort you out with more details and some pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
Bob says, hi Phil and team, just picked up my first bottle of AK Extreme Metal Paint to give it a try. I don't recall your recommendations for thinners for that product. Does it need thinning for proper airbrushing flow, or did you just spray it straight from the bottle? Just spray it straight from the bottle. Never thinned it. I did pick up some AK thinners for cleanup. Again, I just use normal enamel or lacquer thinners to clean it up, and you'll be absolutely fine, because lacquer thinners cleans up enamels as well, and that's what I tend to do. I really enjoyed the live show to the turkey shoot. It was a blast. I built a 70-second Spitfire with a V1 buzz bomb for the frog kit, and I was really thrilled to see it on this live show. That was good, that one. It was a nice little display, that, and a nice stand. So yes, good job on that one. Jeff says, when are we going to see the Master Tool single blade nipper punches in action reviewed? Next week. To be honest, I've just been flat out. This thing's coming along. I'll have it hopefully done tomorrow, or pretty much done tomorrow. So I've been working heavily on that to push that through, so I can catch up with it. But I have got, and again, Matt sent me, as you can see, all this lot with some new stuff to look at as well. So I'm planning on doing sort of a Tool Tuesday. So we're going to got the punch set. I've got a couple of different types of nippers in there. We've got this lot as well. And there's a few other bits and pieces lying around here as well. So Tuesday, I'll probably do like a Tool Tuesday. So, yes.
Nathan's been using them, haven't you, Nathan?
I have. I'm going to give them a sort of a B-. They're not as good as the better brands. So the Godhand is still gets top marks, but they cut things off sprues, so you know they do what they
does do what it says on the bag.
Is a B- from a teacher's point of view good, or is a B- from a parent's point of view a bit disappointing? You're wondering why your child didn't get an A.
I don't know. I mean,
do I speak from experience?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely better than the sort of more traditional cutters, the ones that just like pinch and squeeze the plastic. So for the price point, you can't beat it. You know.
My son from his mock A levels, he got an A star, an A, and a B. Yeah. And so I'm really proud of him. Just wondering why he got a B.
I quite like him. I built the whole Special Hobby Pembroke with these nippers, and it's got fixed screw attachment points. And basically, I use this single blade nipper in places I wouldn't dare use the Godhand ones. I've actually bent the blade and managed to hammer it back. It's obviously a softer metal. So where these would have broke, these ones have survived. They're still sharp after a couple. What it was 3 months now.
Something like that.
Going. So I use these. I think they're all right. They're just not got that refinement. They're a bit rough around the edges. I think the tooling, the machining's not quite as refined as
the Godhand. You're looking at 15 quid compared to
40, 60 quid, yeah.
50, 60 quid, whatever, isn't it? So,
so bear in mind for the price point, I think they're brilliant.
There you go.
Tony says there's lots of containers floating around in the South Pacific, around the South Pacific Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Jones' locker's got them, hasn't it?
And just.
Okay, Robert says, from the tracking info, my mugs were shipped on December the 5th, and as of 4:40 a.m. here in New York City, they are in New York. Sorry, as of 4:40, they're in New York City, so I should have them either Saturday or Monday. Yes, I must admit, I'm amazed they're getting through so quick. I thought it was,
yeah,
you know.
So again, on the news, they were saying that if you wanted shipping in the US, they were telling people to make sure that they got it in even on priority. I think last week. So yeah, that's it within the US. Their own postal service. So that's not bad at all, really.
No, that's good going. That is. Neil says, "Hi Phil. I think I asked this in the wrong thread, so I'll try again. Is it still possible to get the acrylic paint stands? No, discontinued." Daniel says, "Hi Phil and Matt. Did I hear you correctly on the PM show? Are Tamiya releasing the McLaren MP42 1986 car?"
No, new model.
You got one there? I know you haven't. So I thought it was at the unit.
It's in the
pre-order.
It's a pre-order.
No, right. Let's get Tamiya are releasing the McLaren Senna, which is a supercar. New models are releasing the MP4C. Is it? or two, yeah, which is 1986 Keke Rosberg's car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
yeah.
you get two markets there. You get Keke Rosberg's yellow one.
Yeah.
Or gold, as it's sometimes said, but it's yellow. And then you also get the
Alan Prost's.
Yeah, I think it was Alan Prost, wasn't it?
That's the Tamiya one, which is obviously McLaren with the Senna one.
Yeah.
And then the new one, have we got that on a pre-order?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there it is.
up.
And it's there.
Oh, that's nice.
Which it turns out this is Marlboro Lights as opposed to full fat.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Marlboro Lights one.
That's what apparently Keke Rosberg used to smoke.
Oh, right.
Mm.
There you go.
Okay. Are you interested in that, Nate?
I might be.
What, Marlboro Lights?
It's a classic F1 car, though, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
You know.
It is. Yeah.
It's a classic F1 car in a one-off scheme as well, so it's a bit unique, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd like one, the pre-order's up and running on. Could you just show people where the because I've had a few like I do a pre-order. Just show them where the pre-order bit is on the forum, please, for the members.
Okay, so literally, if you're in the main site, in HA, so this is the main site as you would come into it. Okay, so literally, PM Models is just here. Okay, so if you go in there, that's where all the pre-orders are. So they're all the current pre-orders.
Yeah.
As you can see. So all you do, click on it, stick your name down, and you'll be done for it.
There is a few in there that are now closed because we're going to be getting them in soonish.
Yeah, so the pre-order will load. If it's locked, you can't add anything to it, you see. So that's it then, the pre-order. We close it just as they're coming in. So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So anybody who's new or wants to know where it is, you now know.
Do you know if Kitty Hawk will be doing the Jayhawk version? I know that Hobby Boss did a 72nd one, but seeing if there's a larger scale one from Clive. I don't know. Yeah, why not? They should. You'd think they would do it because they've done all the other versions of them. So I'm surprised they didn't do the Jayhawk. Obviously, your other option, if you want it 48, Skunk Works, which is kinetic. It's older, but it's all right. That's the only other one that I know in 48 scale.
So what's the difference?
What, the Jayhawk?
To an Ocean Hawk and a Night Hawk and a Sea Hawk?
Basically, the Jayhawk's got fuel tanks all over it because it's longer range. So, it's got external fuel tanks onto it. It carries 2 fuel tanks on that side, 1 on this side, I think. But obviously, it's got all various survival equipment and that because it's a rescue helicopter. It's Coast Guard. So, it's got no guns.
Which one used to carry the tanks? Was it above the doors? I know Asagawa used to do one, like a Black Hawk or a...
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they got it comes off of here. Yeah, well, they all do. There's other versions of it. All the MH and versions of it, they can be fitted with it. And they have you can have fuel tanks on it, or Hellfires, or rockets, or guns for the gunship version.
I've got a funny feeling they are doing the Jayhawk version. I do seem to think one of the podcasts that I might listen to on the way to work in my car, back to Kid Up Best of the Hobby, I'm pretty sure there's one that they just read scale mates out, and I'm pretty sure they've mentioned a Jayhawk on.
Right. As I say, it wouldn't surprise me because it'll be the only one they haven't done out of them all now. So, yes, that's my build for next year. So, yes. And what else have we got? Martin says, good evening, team. I've got my mug safe and sound. Paint-related question. I'm going to be building a V-bomber in anti-flash white. What paint would you go for? Would you use pure white?
No. Can I just say that Attacker do anti-flash white?
Yes.
And so do AK Real Colour.
Yeah, we don't stock AK Real Colour. We sell Attacker.
Yeah, we do. I'm just saying, just to, keep it like other paint brands are available. That type of scenario.
Yes, we're not MIG, where there's no other product in the world apart from our own. So yes, they say anti-flash white has got a slightly creamy hue, doesn't it?
Yeah, just put a bit of buff.
Yeah, stick a bit of buff in it. When I do my Star Destroyers and my what I call Starship White, there's just a bit of buff chucked in it, and it works a treat.
Yeah.
So Yes. Good job. James says, evening team, any recommendations for a decent soldering iron for photo etch, brass and copper? As my 36-year-old soldering iron just expired.
I tell you, I got one from Lidl's.
Yeah, that's what
I never used it. Has he got a stand?
I've got a stupid metal stand for mine, wherever it is. I don't even know where mine is. It's in here somewhere.
I've got one that I just normally hook on my desk, but then I catch my arm on it and burn myself on it.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean,
here's mine.
Yeah.
But actually, I'll tell you my stand is, because I saw it earlier when I was cracking about. Here's mine, which is a piece of photo etch, technically. It can't be safe. There you go. That's me. I'm good to go. So, God. But I say, you know, proper soldering, you have a proper dial, don't you? And you put in your temperatures and all of that.
Do you know what? That one I've got from Lidl's has got the dial and everything. It's still in its box. I don't think I've ever unpacked it, but it's one of them where it's got the dial. I won't have a clue. Have you got one, John?
No.
No. Have you ever soldered anything?
No. Well, yeah, I've got a Mac torch.
All right, yeah.
For plumbing, but I think that might be a bit excessive.
My dad used to be a radio ham, so he used to like build all his own radios and things. So I've got like hand-me-down soldering irons from him. I don't know what make they are, and all those have got yellow handles on them, and yeah, finished nibs on them, so they're fairly decent ones. But I'd be tempted to go with the paste solder nowadays and a torch.
That's what
torch,
I do.
Yeah.
To be honest, you can get the little micro blow torches, and I've got that paste. I've shown it loads of times. It's so much easier and cleaner and everything.
Is that the flux and everything in one? You just brush it on.
Yeah, you just brush it on and then just whack it with a flame, and it's instant. So yeah.
I've got the stuff, and I've got a torch, but I've never actually tried it. To be honest with you.
So perhaps Phil could give us a masterclass on soldering.
Moving on.
Building
Graham says,
building a HE111.
Shush now, Andy. He'd be sacked before he's been employed. Graham says, hi Phil, used your styrene gloop to glue the tracks together and did the same on the turret. Oh, is that what I did with it? Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, that'll be it. Just gloop. It's the styrene and Tamiya extra thin. Apparently, Revel Contactia glue is not available in Canada.
Oh.
Is it? Why has it got nasties in it?
Don't know.
I don't know. It's back off. God. Never read that, but
It's one of those progression stages for us, isn't it? You start off with a tube glue, then you move on to Contactia glue, then you sort of like move on to extra thin, but you still keep going back to Contactia because
this is good for a big joint, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like sticking two fuselage together. If it's either that stuff for me, or this, because it's just perfect for it.
Yeah.
I think the contact is easier to apply than the white top glue, because white top glue is a bit thick, stringy and gloopy. With the contact, just run it along a nice long join.
To be honest, you're probably like me, Nath, because my old one, the reason I said to Matt, can you send us one down, is because mine is literally like that. It's stringy. Yeah. But this is a brand new bottle and it's like water.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be. But mine's gone off, obviously, in here. And this is really, really, look, you pour it, it's like molasses.
I did thin mine down with extra thin, and Matt said, didn't you say it was different stuff, but it seemed to work all right for me.
Yeah, well, that's what I've done with this. I put a little bit of extra thin in here, but I don't think it's worked.
Right.
Because it's resin, isn't it? This one, it's not actually extra thin in it. It's got resin in it.
I wouldn't say, because that's acetone in it, based.
Yeah.
That one.
It's like 32 scale fuselage halves. Contact is perfect.
The only problem with the Contactia ones is the needles, and it's not what you think. The problem I found with them is that the needles are actually too useful for other things like doing gun barrels and things. So I ended up like pinching them and cutting them down. I ended up with no needles in them because I've pinched them all the time.
I've just noticed actually the white top one is the only one that's got poison written in great big red letters down the side.
Yeah. And apparently it's on fire. This is one
On
that
fire,
says on
I've got.
fire. Yeah.
I ain't got poison. Where'd you get yours from?
Yeah, it does. It says poison on the other side.
Mine
Poison
do.
on one side, on fire on the other.
Mine
All
don't
right.
say it. Mine just says on fire.
Oh, I tell you what they've done. You see the label? They've obviously on yours stuck it the other
yeah,
way.
Yeah. Stuck it over. Yeah, they have. I can see through it now. You've just said that. Yeah, it does.
The only thing I find with this, especially with like this is a fairly new bottle, is when you're putting it on, it's all like at the top of the brush.
Yeah.
It drops
You
down.
don't really
mine's
spend
like that,
5 minutes tapping it off. You get a great big blob go right over your kit.
Yeah.
What brush are you using in yours, John?
Yeah, well, I always do that. I pinch one of the extra thin ones.
Yeah, I've got an
and
extra
change
thin
it.
one in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still sticks up the top of the spout.
But it
Doesn't
sticks up like the top of the plastic bit, and it runs down as you're just about to touch the model.
Anyway, because we're going well over tonight. Let me get through these. Scott says, "Hi guys, question for PM if it's possible. I missed it yesterday. Do you plan on getting the Zucamori F4 EJ Kai kit in? Are you doing some type of pre-order? From what I can tell, it's just different decals.
We have got some ordered, but we're not.
We have got some coming in, but yeah,
it's pretty much the same kit.
It's the same kit, but yeah, they've just put different decals in it by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Licensed product by Boeing.
Oh, there you go. You see, they've got the license in, have they?
But yes, we have got some coming in. We haven't got many coming in, though, have we? I think we just got
just a few, I think. So, yeah.
Yes. Have all the orders gone out? I paid last week. For what, Roger?
It was for Adult Spitfire. They should be going out tomorrow, most of them.
Right, okay. Right, fair enough. Picture. Broken end, the tip. Chris has broken the tip. It looks like that.
So that's not a thingy one though. That's a 70. Yeah, that's not the 69. That's a 70.
Is that like the one I've got? That looks like the one I've got.
Yeah, that's the thingy one. They should have that sheath on them. So how's that broke then? I don't think how that got busted. Because they have that sleeve on them, don't they, to protect them?
Oh no, it is only a single blade he's got on that one.
That's the single blade one.
Yeah.
And that arrived broke in transit, did it?
Get a grinder on it.
Guess Andy's did. Right, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was damaged before it even got sent. I wonder if it's been damaged if it
Yeah,
didn't send. So that's got.
No, I was just thinking, perhaps I was going to say, Pat, I reckon it was damaged before it got the sheath put on it, probably, in the factory. So I can't imagine something like that breaking off, you know?
No.
I haven't got one here, so I don't know, but yeah.
Adrian says, "Hi guys, have any of you used a Merlin 2-stage conversion for the Tamiya 148 scale Mosquito? If so, could you recommend any?" No.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Mm.
Don't even know, does it?
Yeah.
Don't know. I'm surprised Tamiya or even Airfix haven't jumped on that. It's a bit of a gap, isn't there, in the 2-stage Mosquitoes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I can't. Yeah.
Paragon, Dirk saying Paragon did 2-stage Merlins with a Mozzie.
Paragon's been gone years, hasn't they?
Yeah.
Stephen says, "Hi guys, regarding the end of international shipping, is it only for the Flory Models side of the business or PM as well? I missed out on the turkey shoot videos and haven't caught up." Okay, so just to recap, what's going to happen is, as of the new year, all international shipping is going to come out of PM Models. But if you're in the US or Canada, obviously you'll be buying from Brett, because Brett can get it to you damn sight cheaper than we can, because it's ridiculous. So you'll buy all your Flory Models, washes, sanders and pigments, get them out of Brett at High Altitude Hobbies, because he's got everything. And obviously he can ship it to you And as he was explaining at the turkey shoot, it's on volume and weight. So you can order tons from him, and it's the same price as it would be for one bottle. Because it's like a flat rate shipping. So it works out a lot cheaper than us doing it. Technically, with obviously with Brexit, internationally it doesn't affect us whatsoever. And to be honest, both companies got our EREIO codes, as I call them. So we can ship internationally. We've got all the paperwork, all our ducks are in a row and ready for it. So it's not a problem. It's just that we're trying to streamline things and get things coming out of just one area. But we get moaned at almost every show about the cost of American postage and that. So all we were saying is that you're probably better off getting it in the States, because postage is just getting more and more expensive at the moment. There's not a lot we can do about it.
There's nothing at all, and it's as expensive to post the other way. So it's obviously, I mean, you've got to think there's no flights going anywhere, so it's obviously going to go up, isn't it? So that's a way to look at it and think about it. Whether it'll ever come down again is another thing as well. But you got to remember, like you guys in the States, obviously he does stock all of Phil's products, and he owns a model shop. He runs a model shop. So if you go to Brett and like can we get in or whatever, I presume if you go to Brett and message him and go, can you get such and such in, he probably will, which will obviously save you, cost on postage that way if you need to add stuff to your order.
Yeah, so that would be the other thing as well. Obviously, in the new year, and then obviously into next year, when all the stuff goes through PM, you'll be able to add to your heart's content from your sanders and washes to your main stuff on the PM store as well, because a lot of school going to come out of PM.
Yeah, as long as it's all on one order.
Yes, as long as it's on one order, as we spoke about before.
Because Andy will not be an happy camper.
No. Chuck says, where's the best place to get paint racks for Attacker paints?
Make your own.
Well, yeah, make your own. I think it's the cheapest. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, actually, Vallejo do racks for their model colour, which obviously is the bottle. So Vallejo do them sort of really thingy woody cardboard type, you just clip it together. Because I've got one, it's like the one, if you look at yesterday's show behind me on top of my...
Yeah, that white one you've got.
There's a little one, and you can get corner units and all that lot, and other companies do them as well. Well, that one was just because, obviously, we can get Vallejo stuff. And they're obviously fit Attacker paints. And you just screw them to the wall as well. They're very light, they could just go on.
The other thing is, if you've got something like what Matt's got and I've got, where we've made them ourselves, or Matt's father-in-law did his, but as we've been talking earlier, if they do change the bottles, you're stuck with, if you bought one, you're stuck with that bottle type, and if they change them to a different bottle type, you're lumbered. So if you've built something yourself where you can say, it's generic, you're going to be a lot better off.
Just the thing as well, though, Vallejo actually do their paint rack, Tamiya bottle size.
Yeah.
They do a bigger one as well, but I think it's for their own big, because they do bigger stuff, don't they? Bigger.
Yeah.
Can't think what they are, but they do a bigger range. But actually, it's like fits a Tamiya. Like
they also do these as well, don't they? Which are like Tamiya. Diameter. So.
Yeah, the Attacker paints are probably a mil or two smaller than the model colour, so they will fit.
They will fit there. So,
like I said, problem is if they do change, then you.
Fair one,
yeah.
And then last question for tonight, because we've gone well over. Simon says about the pre-order for the MH60R. Yes, we've got them on pre-order. So if you go over here, go to PM Models. This is a shortcut way of doing it, of course. And then over here, they're all in here. So you've got. I know the R's not in here, but we're doing the R as well.
When it's available.
Because it's just coming down the line now, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, when the R's available, we'll put it up. But obviously, we can get these, so we just put in up what we can get. When we know it's available, we'll either add that to that, because I think this might just be a rolling one. If people, obviously, as long as the stock's available from our supplier.
Yes.
But that order is going in. So if you've got your name down on there, Andy will be invoicing this weekend, because the order's going in tomorrow, and they will be here next week. So. I want them here before Christmas and out before Christmas as well. That was my plan. So
And these aren't coming from a Chinese supplier, so they're literally like it just straight postage and they'll be with us.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they'll be here within a week.
Yeah. So as I say, Matt sent me down some goodies, so I'm now up to date. I've got me thinners, I've got me Mr. Surfacer Primer 1000, I've got me white top glue. What else did I need to send us? And then obviously I've got the nose art, which we'll do a proper review of that one as well next week. And then obviously I'll do a full review as well of the F4E Phantom, obviously, because there's going to be different versions of that coming out, I should imagine, with that one. Don't need to do the SH60B because I've already done the review on that one because I borrowed John's kit for that particular one. So, yes, not that John, different John.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's coming down the line. And there we go.
Cool.
Sorted. Are we all good? Are we all done? Look, we've gone over by half an hour. Get slack wrist now.
Yeah, you will.
We've got to speak to our other halves. So yes, right, that's us. I'll be with you tomorrow. Obviously, you got the next part of the MRAP, which, as you can see, is coming together very, very nicely. Now that is actually together. It's all coming together now. So literally, that's going to be coming along. I want to get another couple of hours of that. I'm done on the morning of that one and really get together. So next week it will really be about the painting and weathering, so we can finish that one off. Okay, and then we've got obviously the roundup show is back on tomorrow as well, is what we've been up to this week. Obviously no reviews because they've just turned up, and we had a load of them last week as we make our way through. And then obviously be back up with you. The next part of that will be on Monday, or it might be something else as a surprise, because I might get the bowcast to finish if the parts arrive. I was expecting them today, but they haven't turned up, so I think they might be here tomorrow. But if not, I'll work on that over the weekend, and that'll be finished off as well. Clearing the way, hopefully, to do a quick job, which it won't be. It's going to fall into next year, but it'll be getting on with the Star Trek thing. What's it, John? The Frisbee.
Enterprise.
I'm only winding him up. So yes, I'll be doing the Enterprise as we make our way through with that one for the last ones of the year. Cool. Very good. All sorted?
Yep. That's it.
Yep.
Lovely job. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's a pleasure as always. Don't forget, if you want to get more information on it, have a look around the forum. All the other stuff we talk about will be on the PM store. So yes, because obviously Andy needs to be kept in shoes now. And donuts. And pizza. Pizza. Keep him in pizza. He'll be fine. Anyway, thank you very much for joining tonight. Say goodnight, boys. We're out of here.
Good night.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.